Between 2007 and 2008, when the market collapsed, it saw more than 140,000 realtors quit in 1 year. Okay. Jamie Dimon says the Fed has only a 33% chance to avoid a recession. He was like, should I buy a home right now or is the market going to crash? I was like, how long are you living in the home? And he's like, minimum 5 to 10 years. And I was like, then I wouldn't worry. What's your thoughts on this market with interest rates shooting up and how everything is being affected?
It's definitely slowing down. I think day one, you should try and join a team.
So you don't lose time.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're fast pacing your career to success. You shouldn't spend your money on is like Zillow leads, realtor.com leads. Because
really?
those can get expensive. And a lot of the times it's not going to be qualified people.
What does it take to get to 10 closings a month that you felt got you to there?
Really, it's just a timing thing, man. Like time and consistency.
What are some tips from you guys on how to win a negotiation? Be the one who calms the fire on the seller side and on the buyer side.
Yeah, don't let emotions get involved either. That's really important with negotiations because the second you lose your cool, you've already lost.
What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all having a beautiful day. And we are at podcast number 15. And you got with you Karam Khalil and
Ben Wegmann.
And we got a brand new, what do they call this, Jesse? It's a roadcaster or something?
It's like a mixer.
Oh, like a mixer, like a DJ mixer. We got a brand new mixer, so the audio should sound even better than it did on podcast 13 and 14. That's number one. Number two, I had a baby. Well, not me. My wife had a baby 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations, brother.
May 12th. Thank you so much. May 12th, 2:48 a.m. So the podcast was a little bit delayed because of that on some aspect. Number three, I'm a little bit sick if you guys can hear that from my voice. So if I cough or something, don't worry. COVID doesn't go through the microphones or through the camera.
COVID?
But it does go to you.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I don't have COVID. It's just...
Wait, doesn't YouTube flag your video if you say the C word?
Used to.
Oh, okay, wow.
Now we're chilling.
Now
we can make that ad money, baby.
Wow. Nice.
But that being said, guys, on this channel, we talk about real estate and business. And I do commercial real estate and investments. Ben does luxury residential real estate and business. And we share with you guys what we know. And if we don't know it, we go and get you guys the answer. Now, for those watching on YouTube, we appreciate you. Just don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy this video and get some type of value. That's our 5-letter word.
Value.
Value.
Yes, correct.
If we don't provide value, we don't want to do these podcasts. Subscribe as well. And those listening on Spotify, we really appreciate you. Ben, it feels like a while. I love that watch.
Thank you, man.
Can they see that? Can you show? That's gorgeous.
Hey,
I love the green face on it.
Hey.
No, seriously,
relax.
It popped. I didn't know that it had a green face.
Thank you, man. It's my favorite one.
What's the spec on that? What do they call it?
This is just the Oyster Perpetual.
Oyster. So they went under the ocean and grabbed it?
It's a diver's watch.
It sounds super cool.
So this model, it's the exact same model that they had in like the 1900s. Like it's literally the exact same watch now in 2022. Doesn't change at all.
Yeah. That is awesome. It's a
honestly
diver's watch?
It's timeless too. I mean, this will look good like hundreds of years from now.
Beautiful. Like
Yeah.
right when I turned to you, it gave a pop. I love it.
Thank you,
Is that what real estate does? It pays?
it pays.
Pays if you do good, if you do a good job, it pays.
You work hard.
Ben, the market has been wild.
Yeah.
Real estate, stocks, everything in whole. And we haven't done a podcast, and I'd say hitting on 3 weeks. The last podcast was a collaboration with Donovan Ruffin. Shout out to him. It was a very good one. Check it out if you haven't already. But since then, we got busy, did our things. I know May has been, can you say, one of your biggest months?
Definitely.
How many closings?
14.
Wow.
Didn't
you say it was 10 or 11 and then now it jumped to... So remember we made a podcast about a month ago.
Yeah.
And you thought it was going to be like 11.
It may have, yeah.
Nice.
We ended up at 14. In terms of volume, it was my biggest one. In production, I did more in a previous month.
I got you.
And then we're going to do at least 10 to 12 in June as well.
Wow, so
1st.
back to back.
Yeah, man, great months.
Wow, you're like appreciation year over year just going up.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
what we're
this. So
doing.
Ben said something that's actually important that I want to touch on. You said it in terms of volume.
Yeah.
May was your biggest month,
Uh-huh.
but not in terms of production.
Right.
Can you explain to those who are watching, because there's some who just want to go in the luxury market.
Yeah.
Some who don't care about the luxury market.
Yeah.
I want you to explain to them why the luxury market or not the luxury market matters and doesn't matter in the sense of this month was the most volume, but not production. And does production numbers mean more money?
Yeah. So volume is just the amount of deals that you did. So
Yes.
I did 14 deals. Production is the actual amount.
The amount of money.
Yeah.
So you did
amount.
14 deals,
Uh-huh.
but you did in a different month, maybe less deals, but it made you more money.
Right. More production.
More production.
Correct.
So for those who are listening right now, why I'm touching on that is it's not always about how many deals you're doing. It's also about the types of deals you're doing. Some people assess doing a ton of volume as how they want to route their business, which is phenomenal. I know businesses, that's all they go for. Others look at just doing the production numbers. I mentioned that for you because doing 14 deals is wild.
It was a lot.
It's unbelievable.
It's
I
like
can't imagine what's in your head.
Yeah, one every like 2.2 days or something.
You did the math on
yeah,
that for sure. Yeah, 14 on 2 is 28 days. Yeah, exactly. That's a lot. Was it stressful for you?
It was a very stressful month. I'm glad it's over with. It was stressful and it was fun, but I'm glad that we're finally in June now.
Nice. When you had the closings pop up, was there any like deals that were about to die and that you had to save, or did everything kind of go as
all the time? I mean,
all the time?
we're always putting out fires, man. There's always one. Like I'm putting out one right now as we speak, like
nice
in between the podcasts. So that one's supposed to close tomorrow. So
really,
it'll close though.
You said June's also going to be a busy month.
Great month, yeah.
So when is not a busy month? When's your vacation?
Never, literally never.
I know you planned to do a vacation a while back, but did that cancel?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, if I take a vacation, I'm going to lose so much business. I'm like scared to take a vacation because this is why it's like if I have a listing appointment, obviously I won't be able to be there. And then if I'm not like posting that I'm doing deals, like buyers won't hit me up either because they're going to be like, he's not working right now. He's on vacation. Like maybe I need to use another realtor.
Holy, it's that quick.
Dude, if I took like a 1 week vacation, like no exaggeration, I'm literally losing like tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah. So of course, eventually I'm going to take a vacation.
But when you take vacation, your phone's off.
No, it can't.
So you keep it on.
Yeah, you have to keep it on.
Wow.
Because like I said, we're always putting out fires.
Yeah.
But eventually I'll take one. It's just right now I'm like so zoned in.
It's kind of tough though, because let's say this month you did 14 deals, next month is 12 deals. Let's say the month after is 5, 6, but you always have a deal going, so it kind of gets tough.
It'll always be over 10.
It'll always be over 10. That's good. Forward. But you have a team.
Yeah.
And if you go on vacation, you can kind of be like, hey, run this and handle
delegate.
this.
Yeah.
Your team is, how many are you guys at right now?
It's now 5 core people.
Are you the type who's looking to, in this podcast, by the way, I know we're kind of just, we don't have a script on this podcast. Like we have some basic outline, but we literally come on this podcast to share what we're thinking, what we're dealing with, the deals we're doing. And that's why we created this podcast in the first place. So when Ben says stuff that I'm interested in, I'm asking him now for me, which hopefully gives you guys value. So your team that you've built, I know for a fact you can have 50 people on your team today if you wanted to. Yeah. But you're at 5, and I think 2-3 months ago you were at 3 or 4, so you're not growing that fast because you're choosing not to.
Quality. Yeah, I need quality.
I was going to ask you, what's your focus on building that team? You're not just putting on anyone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whenever I say that I'm hiring, people obviously reach out, and then, kind of based on their email, I can tell if they'll be a good fit or not.
Just off the email.
I mean, if you send like a one line, like, Ben, I want to join your team, like, I'm just going to delete it. Like, I need to feel the fire. I need to feel the passion. So, yeah, I'm always testing out people. When leads come in, I'll send them over. And if they can close, then they can join the team. If not, then it's probably not a good fit.
Nice. Yeah. I love it. So you're not just bringing on to grow a big team.
I'm not like BSing around or anything. Like, it's like, okay, if you can close, like, you're on the team. And if
it's your reputation also what you're holding on.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let me ask everybody who's watching this, including me and you. Yes. This is the most sought out question on Google searches right now.
Okay.
This is a question that all of you are thinking about, that I've been thinking about and talking about, that Ben has his input and opinion on as well. And is there a real estate bubble? Is there a pop? Is there a crash? Is there a recession? Is there something big that's going to happen? And we are in the real estate game. Mm-hmm. So we're going to share what we see, feel, and what we're experiencing. Ben might have different clientele than me, so he might not be feeling what I feel, and vice versa, which is why we want to share it. Yeah. What's your thoughts on this market with interest rates shooting up and how everything is being affected?
It's starting to slow down. Definitely, it's starting to slow down.
You feel it.
However, there's a caveat to that.
Okay.
There's still those little pockets like Frisco, Prosper, Southlake. Mm-hmm. Those areas that I honestly feel like they'll never be affected. Those markets, you're still getting way over ask, multiple offers, yada, yada, yada. The craziness that we've been seeing for the past like 2 years now.
Okay.
Other markets like Dallas proper, like the actual city of Dallas, it's slowing down. Things aren't getting multiple offers. Things are sitting. People are offering below ask price. People are getting better deals now.
Wow.
So it's definitely slowing down for sure. And it's weird because it's the summertime. Always when more listings come on market. So I don't know if that may be it. It's just people have a lot more options to pick from. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen over these next few months. But to answer your question, it's definitely slowing down. The bubble hasn't popped, but it's like, I don't even know.
But there's a bubble. There's a bubble forming somewhere.
Yeah, it's slowly not being a bubble. Yeah,
interesting. Okay, so let me give you my scope.
Let's hear it.
What Ben just said. So Ben's like in the north side of Dallas is. Can you say it's like the higher end?
Yeah,
versus the south side?
It's just newer. It's where all the growth is happening.
More boom is happening, I feel
boom.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so my business is more on the south, more Tarrant County versus more him being up there. I would say it's Collin County and Dallas County.
Collin, Denton, and
Denton County also. Okay. So for me specifically, I feel what he said is on point, is pockets that are hot will stay strong. They may shift a little bit percentage, 1, 2, 3, 4%. But when we're talking a recession or a crash, people are talking 20, 30, 40% is what they're hoping for.
Sure.
Others aren't hoping for that who are already in real estate.
Yeah.
But in the areas that I'm at, specifically in the south side, I'm seeing price reductions happening constantly.
Yeah.
I'm seeing homes on the market 15, 20, 30 days. I've never seen that a year prior. Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of negotiations being able to happen. I negotiated on 2. This is houses, actually. I negotiated on 2 houses for clients. Right now I'm about to send an offer. They wanted $650. We're gonna get it for $625, which $25,000 is insane in a market that we were just at. Yeah. You never see that. You would pay $700 to get it. Mm-hmm. Wild. But to give verification to what Ben said, I have a client who liked a house in Plano.
Nice.
And that client wants that house. We went to the house, viewed it, and everything, and they liked it. They're asking $995,000 for the house. It's on a 0.4 acre lot, has a pool. It's a pretty home. Grand Homes built in 2015. We offered on it $1,050,000. So we're still putting over ask.
Yeah.
And we lost at $1,050,000.
Yeah.
That person who went under contract with them, deal fell through 2 days later. They came back to us. Do you guys want it? Yeah, we're second place. Uh-huh. I was like, yeah, we want it. Here's $1,025,000. Yeah. We got it.
Nice.
$1,025,000.
Nice.
So to say what Ben, to touch on what Ben said, there's pockets, which Plano, Texas is a booming area also. They're still over ask. But I'm going to shift a little bit from that. That client who won the house, so we lost it. Then it came back to us and we won it.
Right.
The next 2 days, he was supposed to send his earnest. This is just the inside for those who are interested in real estate. We're supposed to send the earnest and the option fee. He didn't send it. And he goes, I might regret this. I don't feel like I'm making the right move. I don't think that I want the house.
Oh, wow.
So we terminated. We lost our option.
How are you feeling?
Me, myself?
Yeah. When he's saying that he doesn't want it. Do you understand? Are you Are you bummed that?
I was bummed.
Yeah.
Because you're talking,
commission check.
I was about to say that, $30,000. Yeah. I don't want people who are watching this to get the wrong notion of money and how it's easy. It's not easy, and these are not every single day, right?
We're just saying it as it is. Yeah.
And then you got to wait the month for it to close. There's a lot of pressures on it. So it's not just, whoa, $30,000, look how easy it is to be a realtor. Yeah. And I have stats I'm going to share with everybody of the realtor stats of how much more realtors became in 2020, 2021.
Love that. That's good.
Everyone's going to love that. Yeah. Nice. Anyway, so when that happened, I was like, it is what it is. I never put pressure or get depressed. It sucks. It was $30,000. But anyways, we terminate at night. That night, I was like 9 p.m. I sent the termination. Mm-hmm. The next day in the morning at 8 a.m., they get in contract. But how do I know that? Because my client messaged me at 3, 4 p.m. I spoke to my wife. She decided, and we decided we want the home. Let's just stay with it.
And you've already sent the termination.
Bro, I sent the termination. And he told me to send it, and they didn't want it.
Accept another contract.
I call him, and I'm like, hey, this is crazy. I'm sorry what happened. We're ready to put a $5,000 non-refundable to show you we're serious, because sellers get cold feet, too, from a buyer.
Yeah.
He goes, his name was Patrick. He goes, Karam, man, we already went under contract. I told you we had a list. He goes, we just went down that list.
Crazy.
So I lost on a $30,000 commission. My client's texting me every day now, what happened to the home, what happened to the home, what happened to the home? And I'm pissed. Like, we lost it, we won it, and then you made us lose it. Why?
But you guys are still looking.
We're still looking, but
you'll get him something. Don't worry. It's annoying.
It kind of sucks, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I've had that situation dozens of times, my friend.
Yeah. So that's, touching on the pocket of real estate still booming, but also talking about the real estate aspect as an agent. Yeah. Okay, so my thoughts are that there is going to be a crash. And this crash is not predicted on a percentage, but it's predicted on the whole market in whole. Stocks, global, real estate, all around, luxury stuff, cars, just everything.
Ooh, so I can get a good deal on a car?
I know you've been wanting the Lambo, the Urus, so maybe you get one on there. You wanted the G-Wagon too, and
Yeah,
I think we were talking about
I'm watching both of them.
which one would you prefer?
I would prefer the Urus.
G63 or an Urus? That's a tough one. Because a
Lambo-
G-Wagon, you know it's a G-Wagon when it pulls.
Yeah, but a Lambo, like as a kid, I've always had like posters of a Lamborghini. Like,
It's
and
a
my
Lambo,
my
yeah.
screensaver has always been like a Lamborghini. So
got you.
That's why.
Makes sense.
But either, I'd be very happy with either.
Yo,
So we'll
I
see.
think that you're going to get a deal because every day I'm looking at McLarens, I'm looking at Huracans, I'm looking at GTRs. Just I like cars, and that's what I look at, and I'm seeing more hitting the market.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more options.
And the prices are slowly going down.
2, 3, 4K, but they're going down. Yeah. So anyways, what I see the market happening is I think, and I was listening to Patrick Bet-David, and he's spot on, 6 to 24 months is when something big's going to happen. Check this out. We have a couple of points that I saved here. The CEO of JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, says that the Fed...
I just watched a crazy video on him. This is so crazy that you're...
That's
Anyways,
awesome.
Keep going. He's a beast.
He is.
He's a beast. Okay,
Jamie
keep going.
Dimon says the Fed has only a 33% chance to avoid a recession.
Wow.
He's not this guy isn't...
Very smart guy.
And
very
he's
smart
the
guy.
CEO of Chase.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
He also said today, June 1st, 2022, which is when we're recording this, you better brace yourself. There's a hurricane coming.
No way.
I'm not kidding you.
If he says it, I believe it.
And I'm not kidding
This dude is
you guys
smart.
who are watching this. Yeah.
This guy, yeah.
Beginning of May, we're in June 1st. Beginning of May 2022, he said, it's a storm, brace yourself. He changed it to, it's a hurricane today.
What category?
Can you? And I'm not kidding you. He said like Sandy or something. So he was giving categories.
Lord.
Okay,
Not
this is one
Sandy.
person who's a big timer.
Yeah.
This is another person, the former Fed President Bill Dudley. I don't know him much, but I know he's in the game.
He must have been a few terms back because I don't know the name either, but that's okay.
Look at this. He says, very, very unlikely the Fed can tame inflation without sparking a recession. Big player. Look at this. A statistic from PBD, Patrick Bet-David, somebody I highly recommend all of you guys to watch, Valuetainment, showed that 75% of Fortune 500 CEOs said this month they were bracing for a recession. What?
Are we already in one, Karam?
And that's another one.
Dun,
Are we in
dun,
one?
dun. I think we are.
This is,
I think we are.
and this next one is your favorite person.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Zach on Twitter says, which you don't know Zach, but you know the next guy.
Okay.
Do you still think we're approaching a recession? To Elon Musk. May 26, 2022.
Elon replied.
Elon Musk said, yes, but this is actually a good thing. It's been raining money on fools for too long. Some bankruptcies need to happen.
Wow.
Also, all the COVID stay-at-home stuff has tricked people into thinking that you don't actually have to work hard.
Dude.
Rude awakening inbound.
See, this is why I like Elon, because Elon says it how it is.
Can you believe that?
He doesn't sugarcoat things. He says it how it is. I agree with Elon.
And you have a Tesla, right?
Yeah, I've got a Tesla.
That's funny.
I'm a Elon supporter.
Unbelievable stuff. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. So this was some stats that I got.
This is
You're
great.
enjoying it too, right?
I didn't know this.
Let me tell you also this. Inflation skyrocketed. We hit the highest in 40 years at 8.5%. We know that. Everyone is taking on massive debt because it's so cheap, where you can over leverage in anything that you're doing because it's cheap and you think you can handle it. Buying stupid cars, luxuries, watches, clothes, houses, all that. Yeah. Let me give you some context. A $500,000 home, which is a $500,000 straight mortgage, at 2.6% for a 30-year mortgage. This is like, let's say a year ago you can get it, was $2,001.70. Today, a $500,000 mortgage or home at 5.8%. I have clients doing 5.8, 5.5, 5.3. We're going to give it 5.8. Is $2,933.77. The difference is $932.
Yeah.
Almost 33% more roughly, plus or minus.
That's literally like their whole car payment and then some.
I spoke to a lender the other day. He said, Karam, business is slowing down tremendously.
On the lending side.
On the lending side.
For
You know
mortgage
why?
loans.
He said that we have so many people who were approved on new construction homes 1 year ago that when the home is ready and they're preparing and getting the new interest rates and all that to lock in and to close, they're getting outpaced basically because they can't afford it anymore and their home has to go back on the market.
Well, there's two sides to that, right? Because
there's always two sides to it.
Of course. Yeah. So on one side, their interest rate has gone up. So obviously their monthly payment is going to go up.
Yes.
But they've also gained a ton of equity.
Yes.
So say that home that they...
What you're saying is true.
Yeah. So say they signed for 400, that home's probably worth 440 to 470 now.
Maybe even more,
so
correct?
Maybe they could close on it and then turn around and flip it if they wanted to.
But here's the thing. How can you do that, Ben, if you're not getting approved by the bank to get the loan? That's where the issue's hitting.
So they're
they
no
can't
longer
get it
getting approved.
because, Ben, they had a 2.6. Now it's a 5.8.
I thought they just couldn't afford it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so now they're not getting approved.
Yeah, they're not getting approved because they can't
that,
afford the payment anymore because the bank's like, your debt is too high.
That obviously makes a big difference.
Big time, right?
But for the people who can't afford it, like if, they can probably make a quick flip if they wanted to.
I had somebody, and I agree with you, I had somebody call me the other day and he's like, hey, I want to buy this home. And I do commercial real estate, but it's so funny. I talk more on the residential side. I don't know why. I feel like commercial real estate, it's so slow paced and all the leases and deals that I work are not as active as residential.
They take like days to make the deals happen too, right?
Yeah, they take lawyers back and forth and all that. So anyways, he was like, should I buy a home right now or is the market going to crash? I was like, how long are you living in the home? And he's like, minimum 5 to 10 years. And I was like, then I wouldn't worry. I was like, I bought my house recently and I'm not worried about that. Can you afford it? Are you good? He goes, yeah. I was like, then I wouldn't worry. I was like, even if it does go down, this is the home you like. This is the location. Like, just grab it if you feel it's right. I don't put pressure on clients and stuff. So everybody is in their own position at their own time is how I see it. But anyways, that's what we're seeing with the market.
Yeah.
Does it scare you? Does it scare you? Because listen to this. You're a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent. We have real estate agents watching. Does it scare us that the market could be going down?
No, it doesn't scare me. Mostly because I've been in it for so long and I have built up this big book of clientele. So if the market shifts and it becomes more of a buyer's market, I honestly have more buyers than I do sellers. So,
I heard that.
Like
I heard from people saying that.
Yeah, me personally, I'll be fine.
The buyers who've been waiting will jump in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I feel like if you've built a good business, like you'll be just fine. If not, do even better.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How about you?
We're going
to... How are you feeling? Scared, Karam?
I'm shaking, bro. We're going to give advice to those.
In your boots.
We're going to give advice to those who are new realtors or realtors in the business. That's what we're going to give you advice on. We're not just going to give you the scary news. But for me, I really don't care because I've been wanting this to happen because I feel like it opened an opportunity for me and for clients that I have.
We'll take advantage of it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll get in, we'll buy that property for 30% off, and then we'll make the money on the flip side. Okay, look at this. What happens to real estate agents when the market crashes or shifts? And this is a statistic, not a statistics, but I got this off of a website. Mm-hmm. According to homelight.com, which it's not Wall Street Journal or anything, but it's an interesting statement, which I'm sure is elsewhere as well. Between 2007 and 2008, when the market collapsed, it saw more than 140,000 realtors quit in 1 year.
Wow.
When it collapsed. Why? Because they can't play the game going down. Okay.
I wonder, do we know how many realtors there are nationwide?
I'm about to tell you, yeah.
Oh, you have
I got that stat.
Oh my gosh.
Come on,
look
Big
at
Ben.
You, dude.
Look at me.
I'm impressed. Honestly, I'm impressed.
That is cool.
I thought we were going to have to Google that real quick.
I'm going to get you. That's on the next one, but I'm going to tell you it's right here.
Okay.
My man. So that 140,000 realtors that quit in that single year, the number continued to go down up to roughly 1 million realtors who quit until 2012.
Wow.
Because the market was just going down.
Sure.
At 2012, the market started to pick back up. So up to 1 million almost quit.
Mm-hmm.
Now check this. According to NewYorkTimes.com, in 2021, there was a record number of real estate agents in the United States. According to the National Association of Realtors, more than 156,000 realtors joined their ranks in 2021 and 2020 combined, nearly 60% more than did in the 2 years prior. So when the crash happened, 140,000 up to 1 million within the 5-6 year span left.
Yeah.
When the boom and appreciation in the market's like, whoa, look how much flocked into it.
Yeah.
Real estate cycles. The nation, as of right now, in the United States, they say there's 3 million realtors all around the United States.
So, and what is the U.S. population? It's like close to 400 million?
Yeah, like 370 or 330 or something like that. It grows.
3 million or
It doesn't
agents.
sound much, though.
That's a lot.
You think so?
Yeah, that's a lot.
What is that,
There's a
like
lot of agents.
1%?
It's not 1%. But,
Maybe 10%? I don't know. My math is off.
We're not good at math. It's okay.
But check this out.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
And then I have
So
something
let
to
me just
say.
tell you this real quick. I think it's 3 million. The stat, y'all can fact check that, but I remember I read that and it was 3 million. That's what I put down. So what I was trying to get to is market crashes, they leave.
Yeah.
Market's doing good, they come back in.
Yeah.
A good agent can't just leave. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So you have to stay when it's down and when it's up.
Yeah, we'll be just fine. If the market does tank, it'll just flush out all the agents that joined when COVID started. They're like, oh, I'm going to get my real estate license.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They saw appreciation happening. They saw that it was work at home. They saw that it was flexible. So
They saw the TikToks.
they saw the TikToks and they saw that there was a lot of money to be made. But to be honest with you, during COVID, I think there wasn't much money to be made in the residential side. It was a tough market,
There was a ton of money to be made.
but it was a tough market.
The rates dipped to
Rates dipped, but good luck trying to get a house. I know realtors who were begging to close deals because they couldn't close.
No, dude, that's when I saw my biggest flood of buyers. It was,
But that's the top maybe 5% of realtors.
I'm
the
speaking,
95
I'm
you're speaking
from
on your
personal experience,
experiences.
But for me, it was a flood.
Yes.
The floodgates open, Karam.
I believe that 95% is just a random stat were swallowed by the 5%.
Yeah, they were probably, things probably slowed
Like,
down.
please, Karam, accept the offer. Please, Ben, accept the offer. Please help. I had listings that were selling it was so fun. 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour.
Insanity, bro.
I thought I was the best agent in the world. List sold.
Insanity, yeah.
Call my client. I got you 55 million over ask.
Yeah.
They're like, good job. And they think I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good, but the market helped a lot,
Oh,
to be honest.
Of course.
That's crazy. Okay, so those are some stats that we wanted to share with you guys in the beginning. Now we're going to kind of transition. So we have a lot of questions from you all, but we also want to transition into some points that I know Ben, you wanted to touch on as well. Let's give not the advice, but the guidance for those watching on how to obtain your real estate license.
Good.
And why I want to talk about that is because I feel like there's a ton of people watching this who want to become realtors. So we gave you the scary side of it, the good side of it. We're real estate agents. We're staying in it with the market going down. We're not afraid from that because we built an actual business in it. Remember, you can chase clients all day, but if you don't build a legit business in it, you'll get wiped out. Yeah. And we want to share with you guys the process of that just to give you some guidance if you want to hop in it now. Yeah. Ben, how do you get your license?
It's honestly so easy.
Dude, I literally have as easy as signing up online.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's essentially all it is. You can can literally take your courses online or you can do it in person, whatever you prefer. Mm-hmm. You're an online guy, right?
What do you prefer?
Yeah, online.
Yeah, I did it online and I prefer online.
Yeah, literally just did it from bed. Like,
nice.
It took me 2 months. I was zoop.
Oh, you finished it really quick.
Yeah, because I was in college at the time. I was like, I need to get out of college. Like, let me get my license. I blazed through it.
Good job.
Most people, it takes like
I know most people is 6 months. That's what they say. The standard is 6 months.
Yeah. So literally, it's 180 hours, correct?
Yeah, 180.
Six courses that are 30 hours each.
6, yes.
Yeah. So you do your 180 hours. You can do it in class or online. After you complete that, you get your certifications. You sign up to do the exam. Mm-hmm. The exam is 2 portions. There's the state and there's the national.
Nice.
And then once you pass that, you can literally get
Did you fail it at all?
Yes.
Nice.
I passed the state one the first time. The national one took me 2 times.
Wow. Yeah. So I failed it a total of 5 or 6 times. I had to,
which is very common, by the way. Like it's, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. After the 3rd time failing it, you have to retake a 30-hour course, which I did that. The lady said, Karam, you're coming back again? I kid you not. She was like, what are you doing? Just stop coming back. She was like, you've done it. Ben, I'm talking 5 or 6 times. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, it's not though.
But
it's not.
I didn't really study. I kept trying to bomb it.
Yeah, a lot of the successful agents that I know, they all failed it multiple times. You know what's so funny? It's like the ones that pass on the first time, like the bookworms. And I'm not trying to insult anyone, but like the bookworms, like they don't do well. And the hustlers,
because there's no reading in real estate.
The hustlers, the ones that fail it multiple times, bro. They end up doing amazing. Like Rogers won't mind me saying this. Rogers, my broker, he failed it like 26 times.
Oh, bro. Yeah. I remember he told me that.
He publicly says this, by the way. That's why I'm repeating it. But he failed it so many times.
Is that even possible? He says it, and I know he does. It has to be possible.
I believe him. And Rogers, my broker, is a wizard, bro. He's
He is.
just knocking it out of the park. There's over 500 agents. So that just goes to show you can fail it 26 times or however many times he failed it. I don't want to misspeak.
If you don't fail it, actually, we should be concerned for you. Maybe that's the
That's
notion.
exactly what we're saying. And
look at this. The state I failed, the state I passed, or the national, I don't remember, but I kept failing one of them by 2 points. And they won't tell me which one it was. So every time I would go to try to take it again, I wouldn't study. I'm like, it's just those 2 points. And I would see some similar questions, and I'm like, this is the one that was wrong. Yeah. I fail again, 2 points, 4 points. I'm like, man.
They're long tests too. There's like, I think they're each over like 100 questions. It took me 3-4 hours to complete it.
Wow, so, I think you're right. I didn't remember that, but you're right.
I was in there, bro.
You were hustling?
Yeah, I was in there doing those things.
Okay, so you're talking about the course is 6 months, potentially 180 hours.
Yeah. You
finished it in 2 months.
Which sounds like a lot. 180 hours, oh my God, but you get through it fast.
Ben finished it in 2 months. I'm not saying this because I'm always... I want to look cool or anything. I finished it in a month.
What?
Which is crazy.
I didn't even know this.
I know.
I'm learning so much today. You did it online.
The reason why I did it in a month was my client, wasn't my client.
I know this, yeah.
He basically said, you're a realtor. And I'm like, I'm not a realtor because I helped him buy a property. I didn't make commission. So I had no choice. And I was just on my phone 24/7. The things were playing and I was just doing it. And I finished it that quick. So you can finish it in a month, in 2 months, you can finish it in 6 months. I don't think I would like the in-person. Like it's actually, it's like you're going to school, I feel.
And then you have to do it at their pace.
Yeah. Like
online, you can do it as quick as you want or as slow as you want.
No, I don't mess with that. I wouldn't do that. So once you pass your test I know you have to fingerprint. Mm-hmm. I guess you have to give your information to the database. You have to go to like Identigo or something to go fingerprint it.
Yeah.
And is that it?
It's funny. You're saying these things that I remember. Like
you remember, right?
All these years. It's the memories are coming back. Yeah. And literally once you get you pass the exams, you can sign on and
here's the advice that if you're watching this is literally why we do this podcast, is to give you guys value. This advice, in my humble opinion, because it's coming from me, I think is worth $13,900.
Okay.
Where if somebody paid me this, they would be like, hell yeah, I got my money's worth.
Yeah.
Before you actually finish your real estate license, already be pre-enrolled with a brokerage.
Nice.
Know the people in the brokerage, know the team in the brokerage, show up to the brokerage's office multiple times, let them know you're pulling up, try to know some realtors there, and make sure it's home for you.
Yeah. And also
hold up, bro, I need my $13,900.
Oh, here you go. I'll write you a check. It's also important to note that between the time you pass your exam and you sign on with a broker, I think there's like a 1 week period.
Okay.
And then after that 1 week period passes, your license is technically inactive. And then I think you have to do something. You have to pay some small fee to make it active again. But
if you didn't join with the brokerage within the week,
immediately.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what the exact time requirement is, but I remember my license did go inactive, and I had to like do something.
Gotcha.
Because I
hadn't
signed
point.
on yet.
Good point.
Yeah. So just something to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking is not what I'm thinking. What I know you guys should do is if you're actually doing your real estate license, join the brokerage prior, pre-enroll, meaning let them know you're doing it, let them know you're taking the test and all that. I've seen that at the brokerage you're with, Ben, that I've seen people physically doing that when I was there, which rung a light in my head because it was like, why would you not do that? Get ahead. I know some people who did the 6-month course, then went hunting for 2-3 months to find a brokerage. This is real life. This isn't like a video game. You want to go make money. You want to close deals. You don't want to waste time. There's so many people out there, Ben, who just want to have an excuse to feel like they're doing work.
Yeah.
I'm taking my license. I'm taking my classes. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Before I go and hit the market, I have to have my business cards ready. My picture got to be right. My website has to be up.
Silly. You're stalling.
Stop
it.
Great stuff. You're trying to do that, but please don't make that under the expense of
sign on.
Exactly. Under the expense of trying to actually go to the market.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's how you obtain your real estate license, which transitions to us. I got my license now, right? What do I do my first day as a real estate agent? And
what do you do, Karam?
I'm thinking, what was my first day? Do you think you can remember what your first day was? No.
I have to go way back.
Okay, well, while you're thinking, if you can, or if you have advice on that, my first day, I was in the office.
Yeah.
I literally was just in the office and I was acting like I'm working. I had no business. I had nothing. I was just on my laptop, refreshing, and people were walking behind me and stuff. So I had to actually look like I was doing stuff. So I was like,
nice,
refreshing. And I didn't want to open YouTube because they'd see I'm just fooling around.
Yeah.
I'd open emails. I'll print something, but it was really printing nothing. It was just a blank, acting like I'm working. And then I'm like, I look and I see somebody that I might like, I can talk to. But on a serious note, that first day was literally like that. But my first week, I was trying to get to know people in the office.
Good.
I was trying to talk to them, say, hey, how do I use a printer? Hey, you want to go to, what is it called? Velvet Taco. I actually went to Velvet Taco. Nice. You know the guys I went with too. I was like, hey, how is the process in this company? I was like, hey, how do you do this and how do you do that? So I was trying to understand what I'm in.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How are you going to do business in a company that you don't even understand about? So that's what I did on my first day. In fact, week was understand my surroundings plus act like I'm doing work.
Yeah.
If I had work, I would have done it. But I had to act like I had it because I had to look pretty cool.
Sure.
And I was in a suit, so I looked like I was a deal maker, but I had no money.
Always suited, right?
Yeah, I was always suited.
Yeah.
From the first day. When I knew I'm a realtor, I went and did like 5 or 6 tailored suits.
Nice.
Not thousands of dollars suits. They were like $200-$300 a suit.
Yeah.
$250 a suit. It wasn't much.
You can get a deal.
Yeah, so you don't have to be rich to do it. And I think that you have to play the part as a realtor, and you have to look the part. You have to.
Especially starting off like as a new agent.
100%. In fact, right now, if Ben shows up to somebody who already knows him with his successes and stuff, and he's not in a suit, even though we know he's a stud and he closes and he's the best at the game, there is a percentage that can drop on your appearance.
Yeah, I agree. Every time I meet someone for the first time, I'm always suited.
When you came to my house, when you came to my house for the first time we did the podcast, because every time Ben saw me, I was suited and booted. When he saw me for the first time at my house, I was in 2 things. I was either wearing a tank top muscle shirt with no muscle and shorts, or I was in a suit. But I was in a suit with slippers on and no socks because y'all can't see what's below this table. And I 100% believe that Ben saw me. He's like, that's my homie Karam. Cool, what's up? But what are those down there? Yeah. Right?
What
and it might be a thought in his head because I might think that too. Nothing negative, but it's just like you're always dressing so fly, but you're lacking the shoes or the Louis Vuittons or the socks. So you're 90% as fly. It's not I don't respect you as much or I think you're not as smart. I know you are, but it's just that appearance. I might have went a little bit more deep than
you're
needed.
Getting a business call right now, Karam.
Phoenix, Arizona. What the heck? By the way, I'm getting phone calls like that, but they're actually local. But my phone's tripping up and showing me they're out of state. It's weird. Huh. So you have to look the part, play the part, dress the part, and all of that. What do you got to say about that?
I love that. I think day one, this is something that I didn't do, but I think it's a really good move. I think day one, you should try and join a team.
Ooh, I love that idea.
You should join a top producing team so you can learn from the top producers.
So you don't lose time.
Exactly. Yeah, and you're fast pacing your career to success. So like watch what he does. Like ask him like what are some mistakes that you made your first few years so you know not to make them.
But is it okay to give them 60% and they take and you as a new agent take 40%? Do you see it okay?
Sure.
Yeah. I do too.
If you're going to get value from them.
I do too.
When you're starting off, it can't just be about the money. It's the knowledge is the most important part. It's like we said, what are you going to do to fast track you so you can get there quicker to where you want to be? So I would join a team. Like I said, learn from the top producer and maybe he'll feed you some stuff too.
I love that. And I think that I would join a top producer for 3 to 6 months. Depends on how fast I learn. And even if I'm paying them 60% of my commission and I'm taking instead of 50 grand, I'm taking 12 or 15 grand, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because you cannot buy knowledge. No. Well, you can buy it with money, which is what you're doing. Yeah. But in the sense of you fast pacing something in 3 to 6 months versus 3 years is invaluable. 30, 40 grand is nothing to how fast that's going to make you scale.
Yeah, it'll make you hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, 1 billion%. So I love that. So you obtained your real estate license. What you did on your first day is what we just shared right now. And this is a question also that pops up a lot. And I know it pops up to you, Ben. How in the world, and I'm going to let you speak on this, do you break into the luxury market?
Yeah.
Luxury market, in luxury market's two things: residential luxury market, but there's also a luxury commercial market. And what that luxury commercial market is the $1 million deals.
Yeah.
There is a ton of $500,000 to $900,000 commercial buildings, but there's also you entering into a market where you're in the millions now. So I'm going to speak on the commercial aspect. How do you get into that?
Yeah.
I want you to touch on for the residential side, like how do you break into that? Is there something you got to break into, or is it just deal flow?
Well, you know how we're kind of talking about the market slowing down a little bit?
Yeah.
So the higher price points, it's slowing down. So here's how you can take advantage of that. So if your brokerage has higher price listings, you need to ask the listing agent, hey, can I host your listing open for an open house on Saturday and Sunday? So say someone at your brokerage has a $2 million listing and you're doing it Saturday and Sunday both days.
Yeah.
Now you're in front of a bunch of $2 million buyers.
Facts.
Yeah. And it's not even your listing. Like
Beautiful.
Everyone who's walking in, obviously not all of them are going to be qualified, but there are going to be some serious people that, can afford
And
$2
obviously
million
not all of them,
have an
not
agent.
all will have an agent.
Exactly. So you can try and represent them and boom, you already have a
Nice.
multi-million-dollar client. So that's one way.
I love that.
Yeah. Another way,
Go ahead.
just getting content, like, going out and touring these properties and, building a following from that. And, maybe someone will hit you up. Like they'll be like, oh, I really like that house that you just posted.
And I'm going to correct what you said on maybe somebody will hit you up, because they guaranteed will, and you know that.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. You just have to be consistent with it. Yeah.
You were consistent. How many years would you say you're consistent from your social media?
I mean, in September, it's going to be 7 years. So
Good job.
yeah.
What
yeah,
a beast.
It's been,
Consistent.
it's been years in the making.
There's a question somebody asked, which we're going to get to, but instead of getting to that, because I remembered, I want to ask you this. Do you have a schedule for social media? Like posting your stuff? I'm going to say for me, I have no schedule, which is why I'm not doing it the right way.
Yeah.
So do you have a schedule?
Dude, my first 2 years, I was posting something every day. Every day, because I had nothing better to do with my time, and I was trying to,
You're trying to build up
a following. Yeah, and now it's, just whenever I can. Yeah,
got you.
I'm putting out fires. I've got these.
But
closings.
when you can is pretty consistent. I would feel like
Dude,
I see you constantly on the stories.
I try to get as much as I can. Now I feel like I only have 1 to 2 good days a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So
Sorry
did it used to be a set schedule like a year ago?
But a few years back, yeah.
Was it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Nice.
I kind of space it out. I'm glad that you said that. It still seems like it's consistent to you, because I'm trying to, still push the content out. It's just
It does. No. I feel like
Yeah.
it's consistent.
Good.
Because I know that the social media stuff. Because when I do it consistent, people in my community are like, "Hey, if he's posting a property right now, that means he can help me open my burger shop." They'll just text me or message me or DM me. It's happened so many times.
You have to keep putting yourself out there.
You have
because
to.
the moment you stop, the moment they'll forget and they'll see the other realtor posting and they're going to go with that realtor.
You have to. And let me say this. There is people who give advice, but they don't take action on their advice in certain things. And in this thing, it's me. And I'm not afraid to say it. You have to post on social media as much as you can.
Valuable content.
Yes, valuable, good content. And I have not been doing that. But I'm preaching what I know is right. Not everything I do is right, but I cannot do that because I understand that the negatives that come from it, not getting the business, I'm okay with not getting for whatever reason.
Different styles.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's deals that I close that when I talk to Ben, he's like, why aren't you yelling that on social media? There's things that I do. Why aren't you sharing that on social media? It's just maybe I'm not in the mood. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe it's just not the timing. Maybe I don't like to. But that's wrong. If you want to grow and you want to keep having business coming in, when I did share everything, I was making a lot of business from social media. So guys, get on that as soon as you can. That's the new currency too. You know what I mean? Yeah, if I meet Ben and I'm like, hey, Ben, what's up and how are you? And I feel like the future questions is how many followers you got?
Yeah.
You got 200 followers? I'm good. I don't want to talk to you.
I mean, it sounds silly, but if someone sees that you've got 100,000+ followers, they're going to be like, okay, this guy probably knows what he's doing compared to the person with 1,600, which may not always be the case, right? But
I know 1,600 followers, people who have that, and they are beasts.
Yeah, beasts.
But it's all perception.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
You're exactly right. It's more our generation, the younger people, they'll they'll think that the higher follower has more weight to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The older people don't really care as much.
It does pretty have some weight though.
Yeah. No, it does.
How many followers you got on Twitter?
Over 300,000.
It's
crazy.
Big Ben.
It's crazy to quantify that. Like, just think of
300 plus thousand people.
Yeah, that's a lot
Put
of
them in a
people.
stadium and you can't.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then on Instagram, it's over 170. It's like
job.
173.
And you're growing so consistent and nice. Yeah. Like it's not like it's
Trying,
just
man.
one boom. You know what I mean?
Trying.
That's good. Oh, let me touch into the commercial luxury market, which is a commercial luxury market. The only way to do it, in my opinion, is two ways. A, your dad or your mom was a broker and they have big clientele.
Yeah. There's
3 ways, and they feed you that. 2, you're not a hedge fund baby or something like that, but you are born in money and you have your family has that relation.
When you say okay, so 1, your family's feeding you. 2, you have family connections, I guess.
1, your mom or dad's a broker where they're feeding you.
Gotcha.
Another one is they're not brokers, but they have money, so they're feeding you.
They have connections.
It's like, you didn't use my son. It's like there's some people who are like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then 3, which is the way I did it, which I think there's only that way if you don't have those top 2, is work the... I don't know how to say it in a nice way or something. I don't want it to come off in a weird way. Work the beat down listings.
Okay.
Like the ghetto listings, the listings in the bad areas, or the listings that are the toughest to do.
Sure. Could
be in a class A property, a class A location, but it's not filling up because you got to knock on every door within a 5-mile radius. You have to cold call, you have to send mailers, you have to talk to business owners who want to franchise, you have to do all that.
Yeah.
And then when you fill that building, that was a class A building, but it was worth nothing because there's nobody in it, they then tell you to sell it, right? I believe that's the best way to do it. I've done that for several buildings where I filled them from being dead to being alive to selling them for $5+ million, some for $2, $3, $4 million. And those buildings fed me not only the leases, I made that commission. It's not as much as a sale, but you make the leases, you make the sale, you make the 1031 transaction to the next purchase, and you just start to build from there. Because that client who has a $3, $4, $5 million property has homies and friends who have that as well.
Absolutely.
And I'm not kidding you. I have one client who we just sold a $5.3 million building for, which was a huge deal.
Which you did not post on social media, Karam.
Which I didn't post on social media. He does not. Anyone who asks him, come on, guys, like someone just sold a $5.3 million building. He has friends. They have properties. Who the heck sold you that?
Yeah.
Not because the price was the highest price in the world that they didn't think it can get. Just, hey, it's a big deal. Who did you use? I'm interested.
Yeah. And then Karam.
And then like I use Karam. I get a call from a random guy. Hey, can you come see my building? Yeah. I go. He wants to lease it and then he wants to sell it. It's worth 3.5.
You get really excited when those people call you?
I love it.
Hey, I don't get calls saying, hey, can you come see my building? It's, hey, can you come see my house? Right? So
That's funny.
I'm sure it hits different.
Yeah, we get, can you come see my building? I'm like, yeah, I'll come walk it. We go walk it and I check it out and stuff like that.
How long does it take to walk a building? I mean, obviously it depends on the size, but
yeah, depending on the size and all that, but it could take about an hour.
An hour?
I would say, yeah.
Listing appointments for me take like 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Yeah. And it could take longer because you're walking it, plus a good agent stays after the owner leaves.
Nice.
And then he also walks to every single tenant in the property. He sometimes chats it up with the tenants in the property, gets a vibe. He asks the tenants, who would you like beside you? You get what I mean? What kind of neighbor would you want?
Yeah.
He looks at the building and he sees what tenants are there and who attracts these type of tenants and what demographic and what clientele come here and what other businesses does that demographic go to, and try to bring those people in. Like a building with a nail salon, it needs a barbershop, but what kind of barbershop?
Right.
A pizza place, let's say there's a Domino's there. Who usually comes with a Domino's? A doctor, a dentist, right? If there's a Starbucks, let me call Chipotle. Chipotle wants to laugh at me. Let me call Qdoba.
You always do see Chipotle's by Starbucks.
You do, right?
That's a good point.
But guess what? Chipotle one time rejected. Guess who came in? Qdoba.
Nice. And Qdoba's low-key better too. Well, not low-key.
You like it?
I love Qdoba.
Really?
Yeah.
And guess what happens? When I've cold called a Starbucks and I said, hey, would you guys want to be in this location? No. Okay, no problem. Well, we already have Dunkin' Donuts who's interested, or we already have Dutch Bros who's interested. Maybe we don't, maybe we do. Mm-hmm. Chipotle. Oh, we already got Qdoba. I had a piece of raw land where I called Hilton. And then they gave me like, oh, yes, no. I'm like, no problem. We're about to get on a phone call with Sheraton. We'll talk to you soon. Boop. And
play the
I'm not
game.
kidding you. It actually sometimes works.
Yeah, of
You get what I mean?
Of course.
And because the rep can get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the rep, when Hilton opens there, they'll look at that Sheraton rep and say, you were supposed to find some location here. How the hell did Hilton open here before us?
Our competition.
How did you let that happen?
Yeah.
And there's email logs and there's all that. So it happens.
Well,
That's how I believe the luxury commercial market works and how you can get in.
nice.
Good stuff, right?
Yeah, great stuff.
This is going to be the last point we're going to talk on the podcast before questions, and I'm just going to give my take on it, but I'm going to let you go first, Ben. What not to spend your money on for lead generation? Like, you're a real estate agent, you want to get business, you want to have money coming in because you want to grow.
Yeah.
What should you spend on and maybe not spend on?
What you shouldn't spend your money on is like Zillow leads, Realtor.com
Ooh,
leads, because
really?
those can get expensive, and a lot of the times it's not going to be qualified people. Yeah.
And you have to try to vet them to come through and all that, yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that's not a good use of your money. Let me see if I can think of anything else that wouldn't be.
Let me tell you this.
Go ahead, give me some of your input.
Zillow, and so every 100 that comes in, maybe you can close 2, 3, right? Which I know. So
Not good
from the
conversion.
most real estate professionals that I know who are paying for leads, it's like 500 to 1,000 a month.
It's a lot,
is what they pay
especially if
for.
you're a new agent.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine you're paying that plus all your realtor fees and all that. It's not easy. It's not cheap. I think that the best lead generation you can get is within your community, within your mom, dad, brother, sister, friend, uncle, uncle's uncle, aunts, your teacher, and just keep growing and growing and growing. Your open houses, your brokerage, the top producer who doesn't want that little baby $2,000, $1,000 commission check lease, that kind of free stuff that takes more hustle.
Yeah.
What's easier, to do what I just shared, open houses and top producers and taking those cheap leases and all that, or paying $500 to $1,000 where you just sit down and people call?
Yeah.
Right?
You're hoping for
And
a
you're
good
hoping.
lead.
It's
Yeah.
easier to pay the $500 to $1,000 because you don't got to get out there and get it.
Right.
But getting out there and getting it opens so much more doors. Number one, shows and lets people know you're out there and getting it. Makes you have more content, makes you have yourself dressed up and out and about.
Everything. Yeah.
Makes everything flow. So that's my thoughts.
Do not pay for Zillow leads. Don't do it. Don't do
Zillow's
it.
going to block us. What if we wanted to put Zillow leads here and they're like, we'll give you 50 grand a
Yeah,
month?
I don't know. You
We're
know,
not
Gary
interested.
Vee really, he thinks that LinkedIn ads are really good, which I don't necessarily, maybe for different types of businesses.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would be with real estate.
I think I've paid for ads. Never.
Never. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And that's
I've done some Facebook ones, but that's really it.
how
Just
is
kind
that?
of.
Oh, I can't lie. I've done that, but it wasn't for marketing. It was just like, hey, check out this video I just made.
For Facebook, maybe I got like 1 or 2 from that, but really just makes the post look better because it shares it to more people and like people will like it and comment on it. So that's
My brother
and it
has
looks good for your client.
Yeah, my brother has an 18-wheeler diesel mechanic shop in Dallas, and he's like, I can't believe how much business comes from Facebook.
Nice.
But their business is very different than ours.
Yeah. I guess it just varies from business to business. I'm sure you can make a killing off of just doing
Yes,
Facebook.
but I'll tell you all something right now. I believe that if I spent $5,000 or $10,000 a month on Facebook or on Zillow or on whatever, I wrapped my car with my face and with my number, and I did a 5-mile radius in my neighborhood or 3-mile radius. I sent mailers to everybody within my area. I am the man in this area. I know I'd get a ton of business because you're super niche and focused. It'll happen.
So you're saying more, specify it more.
More specified, yeah.
Nice.
But can you afford that? Do you want to do all that? Is that a risk that you can take? It's just up to everybody to make that decision.
Sure.
Being a realtor is already slow money in the beginning, and it takes time to get paid. So if you want to, jump in with that amount, it might be a little bit tough.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for
I had to scratch my eye and I'm flashing the watch.
You're what? You're flashing the watch?
Yeah.
That's okay. People like that flash. All right, we're going to jump into the questions. We have a couple of questions. By the way, I didn't say this in the beginning. Join the Discord. The link is below where me and Ben are there. Any questions you guys have, you can ask us. We go once a month live on Zoom for 60
It's
minutes.
coming up. We're going to have our call
It's
next
on
week.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Monday. This is the first Monday of every single month.
They're really
and
fun.
They're super cool, yeah. And so join the Discord. It's down. Link is going to be down below. And we got questions on there from the Discord members. So the first question is Ryder Rouse. He says...
Probably working out right now.
He's swole.
He's swole.
I know he's going to watch this. He's
Yeah.
swole. You don't want to mess with a swole realtor.
Yeah.
Pretty scary. The best way to expand your reach to other people than just your city. So he's asking, what's the best way to expand your reach other than your city? I'm doing property tours, talking weekly, and I post them on Facebook and boost them to try to reach more people.
Nice.
I post a lot of walkthroughs, tours on my IG stories. I have 19.4 thousand on Instagram.
Good.
And can see the growth. That's a lot of followers. Good job.
Yeah.
But I would love more tips.
So to grow to other cities, I would say just post other cities. Like whenever I post that I'm in like Euless or something, people will literally message me. They'll be like, "You sell real estate in Euless too?" I'm like, "Yes." Like I always post that I sell all over the DFW area, but you have to like remind them, I guess. So yeah, if you want to get to like, say there's a hot area and you want to be in that area, like go post more content in that area to let people know like, hey, you're out in that area and you can do business there.
I love that.
So yeah, if you want to expand cities, just go tour different cities and
tour different cities. And you know, what's interesting is maybe talk about those different markets too, even if you're not touring them for that day or something.
great advice.
Like right
School
now,
systems.
how far is Frisco from me? About an hour, which is, you know, kind of Ben's area. But even though I'm not there, I can see that there is a Laguna being built there. So I can jump on the social media and be like, did you guys hear what happened in Frisco? Boo, 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 boo.
Talk about school systems.
People are like, wait, you know about
like
Frisco.
that.
Let me bring you in school systems,
Yeah.
like you said. Legacy West is in Plano, which is a booming place. Talk about the new Louis Vuitton that opened there, for example.
Yeah.
You know, I think that reach will help you and it gives you more presence in the market.
That's good advice.
I also think that you have to be on TikTok if you're not on there. I know you're on Instagram. And I know that IG stories are great and that reels are great, but TikTok is like, it's such an easy place to grow. I don't want to say it like this, but you can be, I'm not going to say it, but you can post anything in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're consistent for a couple of weeks, you're going to get something blow up.
One or two will hit.
They're going to hit. And TikTok is like fire. And if people like you, they instantly click follow. Yeah. So you got to be on there.
Nice.
Hope that answers it for you. Next question is Loe Monim. Where do you guys see yourselves in 10 years? That's a question for us.
So I just turned 27. So in 10 years, I'll be 37.
Happy birthday.
Chill, bro. It was like a month ago now.
I just mess with you.
Let's see. Well, I already know, like, dude, I'm so excited for my 30s. Like, a lot of people
Really?
are, like, bummed, like, they're getting older.
Yeah.
I just, like, my 30s are going to be my best years, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, like, I'm going to be paid.
Nice.
You
You see yourself set in the 30s?
Yeah. Dude, I mean, again, like, not to brag or anything, but I feel like I'm already kind of set. Like, I could take a year off and go do whatever I want.
I believe you.
But in the 30s, it's going to be like that multiplied. Like, I can't even imagine how big the team will be.
And you're saying the 30s because it gives you like 3 more years to...
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just, each year's just been more growth, more growth, more growth. So when I think like I'm 37, like, oh my God, like I may own the state of Texas.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like,
let me ask you this. You have, this is random, but you have 300 plus thousand Twitter followers. You have 170,000 plus Instagram followers. Give me a number by 30. Where do you think your number is?
Dude, I don't even know if the social medias will have grown that much. And that's not even really the goal I want to grow the bank account, not the social media.
Wow.
You know, it's funny. I've kind of seen interaction dip a little bit, but like the sales have gone up. So it's weird how there's like that.
Interesting.
And when my interaction was really high, like I wasn't doing as many deals. It's weird. I don't know.
Very interesting.
That's probably just a product of me being in the business for so long, and it's like really caught up.
It's really coming in.
Yeah. So I'm not concerned about the followers, honestly. Like I just want to do more in business, but
you know how they do like people go like a throwback 5 years, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to do a throwback and be like, look, Ben said he'd be at 700,000, but he's at 1.6.
Yeah.
Good job. You killed it.
Yeah.
For me in 10 years, I'll be honest with you. I'm having a tough time seeing where I'm at tomorrow. Not because I'm lost in life or anything. I'm just doing me and I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
But I really don't know. I just, my whole focus is I know that I'm just going to keep playing to win.
Yeah.
No matter what I'm doing in the next 10 years or in 10 years, I just know that God willing, I'm going to win. I know there's always people say set goals and stuff, but it's tough to set goals when you kind of don't know where you want to be or still what you want to do.
Are you one of those people that is just trying to be better the next day than you were the day previous?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same
I
way.
would say that 100%.
Yeah.
And I haven't found my passion or what I love to do every single day. And I always preach this to many is don't keep searching for it because you can search for so many years. Imagine I'm still searching for it. I'd be wasting a lot of years.
Yeah.
I love real estate 70, 80%, That's enough for me to do it well, to make money from it. But I'm still trying to find where it is that I want to position myself in life, career-wise, and I guess lifestyle-wise.
Just open a circus.
A circus?
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, just
probably would be
you
fun.
can have a bear on a unicycle.
That's hilarious. I'm trying to laugh, but I keep coughing because I'm a little sick. So in 10 years, I don't know exactly where, but
you'll be in a good spot.
It'll be to win.
Yeah.
And I'll have Ben by my side.
There you
So
go.
that's most important.
Love that.
All right. So we're going to go to the next question. I'm going to pick from these because we got a lot. Okay. Let's see which one I think that attracted me, which I want to ask you this actually, because this one was kind of towards you too. Giovanni_realtor says, what exact steps do I as a new agent have to do to be able to get to Ben's level of closing 10 plus properties a month? That is such a good question, Ben. And it's kind of like, how do I get to 10 closings a month?
Yeah.
Like what does it take to get to 10 closings a month that you felt got you to there?
Yeah. I feel like my first month where I had at least 10 closings was a month last year. So when I was, 5 to 6 years in the business, like I said, it'll be 7 years in September. Really, it's just a timing thing, man. It's consistency. I've been in the business for so long, and like I said, it's finally caught up. Like people who were following me when they were 18, 19, 20, 21, like now fast forward all these years, now they can finally afford to buy a house.
Nice.
So timing is a really big aspect of it. Just the fact that I've been in the market for so long and that I've been doing this for so long. And then it goes back to like just posting consistently. You know what I mean? It's
being around, basically.
Exactly.
Being around, working, and being consistent with it.
And to add to that, like there are so many agents that they aren't even necessarily good agents, but they get a lot of business just because they've been doing it for so long. You know what I mean?
Good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Yeah.
There's some agents you're like, how are they even in the business?
Exactly.
And they're doing it because they've just been doing it for a while. I love that.
Yeah.
I think
that's probably not the answer you wanted to hear. Like
that's exactly the answer.
Overnight.
That's what he needs to hear.
Yeah, but it's time, like time and consistency.
And I'm gonna, on behalf of Ben, on how he got to 10 plus closings, is I think it's the persistence, which goes to consistency. Is he started with one deal, then two, then three, then it went back to one for that next month. He started with when the negativity hit him and when the market was tough and when business wasn't as great his first month or his first year or second year. He didn't quit. He didn't stop.
In some months, no closings.
Multiple
months back to back to back, no closings.
That's what led him to 10 plus closings a month, is he kept pushing through. So as a real estate agent, don't let nothing push you away from to being consistent in it. And that's what's going to help you keep going. Yeah. Next question is the Realtor. This is a good one. Let me tell you why. They ask, rising entry cost versus ROI, which I don't understand that, but I'll explain. ROI means return on investment. Do you still think real estate is the fastest way to wealth? So rising entry cost. Okay, so I'm going to assume they're saying the cost of entering real estate is rising and the return on investment is diminishing. It's getting less. Instead of making 10%, it's now 7% because the market goes up.
Sure.
Do you think real estate is the fastest way to wealth?
Well, let's talk about that real quick. Because say you want to buy properties and lease them out. So if the property costs more, obviously you're paying more, but then at the same time, you're leasing it out for more too.
True.
So you're not really losing value there.
So what happens is there's always what they say, there's always a lag with rents versus sales price, about a year or two. So if he buys a house today for $500,000, it rents for $2,500. It's supposed to rent for $3,200, but there's a lag.
Why is it not?
There's a lag with it because sales prices on homes, once they sell, once they process, once the market does what it does, rent still needs time for the leases to expire, for people to renew, things like that.
They're saying that the national average rent is going to be $2,000 a month.
I heard that. Yeah. That is unbelievable.
Insane.
Unbelievable.
Insane, so it seems to me like rates or leases are already super high.
But if you bought 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, they still haven't. They're now going to catch up.
It's lagging because you have that tenant who's still paying the value that it was.
That's a point as well.
That's okay. Yeah. So
but also it's lagging because you have people who are drastically overpricing it, and to catch up to that new rent could take a couple of years.
Interesting.
I think that real estate is not the fastest way to wealth.
What is?
Business, in my opinion, is
starting a business.
Actual operating a business. Like
that.
for example, you want to open any type of business, it's going to be faster. See, when you talk about wealth and getting rich, is two different things, right? Real estate long-term, 10, 20, 30 years, it could be the fastest way to wealth with appreciation, with your rental income, with your pay down and all that. Could be, yes. But in order for you to get to that level, you need to have money to do that, right? How are you going to get money to do that? Whether it's opening your own business, whether it's becoming a realtor, whether it's saving up. So I don't think it's the fastest way to wealth, because in order to get to that wealth, you need to first have money to get to that wealth.
Question.
Yeah.
Side question to his question. Think about the most successful people that you know personally. What did they do?
I know that they all got most of their money from real estate.
Okay.
But I don't know what, prior to do that, it's how
I thought a lot of, I thought you were going to say a lot of those people own businesses.
a lot of them own businesses, but they got their wealth. So wealth is
So they
based.
started with real estate and then.
No, they started with businesses.
Okay.
Is how
and
I
then
see
they
it.
started buying real estate?
Yes, and then they started investing in real estate, and then they did what they did. Wealth is a notion of, I'm wealthy, I don't have to work, I'm not stressed, people aren't coming after me. Yeah. Rich is you got to keep hustling to keep making that money.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
You get what I mean?
When I think of the most successful people I know, they're all business owners, which is why
Yes.
I'm doing my business.
You're pushing on that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So my thoughts are for me, I'll give you a real example. For me, I love real estate, and I know that that's the fastest way to wealth. But in order to get into that, you need to have money. Yeah. You need to have initial investment. If I have $50,000, I can buy one house 25% down as an investment property. That's worth $300,000 or $250. Do 25%. Do the math. Yeah. That property is going to cash flow me $300 a month. So my return is going to be, let's say, 11% a year. That property is going to take 30 years to pay down. It's going to appreciate 3 to 5% every single year on average. In 10 years, let's say I have 3 or 4 or 5 of those properties. But it's not easy to save 50 grand within 10 years per year, right? So maybe every 3-4 years you can save 50 grand. So you can have 3-4 homes within 10 years. After that 10 years, you're now worth $1.5 million because those homes have appreciated and you've paid down them for 10 years. But it's not the fastest way to wealth. It takes a lot of time.
It's kind of a secure way though.
Real
estate's always been pretty secure.
It's a very secure way, and I think that I don't want people who are listening to get it the wrong way when I say it's not the fastest way. I believe the fastest way to get to the wealth, which is the way that I'm pushing every single time, is flipping. Is I don't have $1 million today, so what I do, I flip to then buy that shopping center for $1 million, which is worth $1.6 million. That's a fast way to wealth, because then you're now going the bigger numbers. But if you're just trying to do it, I think it's a long way to wealth, but it's a sure way to wealth. And this is a whole conversation for a whole nother
It's honestly a hard question to answer. I think you can definitely build a lot of wealth through real estate, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the biggest, though. It's definitely up there.
Fastest way to wealth is building a business and then making that money into real estate, or working a normal corporate job that makes a lot of money and investing it into real estate. But there's no fastest way. It's just really about your timing, too. If you got into the market in 2016 and 2015 and such, and you held till 2021, that was a fast way to wealth. 6 years of tripling, quadrupling. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just all dependent on luck and timing. Yeah. I just want to say to everybody, by the way, who's asking these questions, we thank you guys and appreciate you guys so much. It makes us happy to know that there are not just listeners, but people who listen and then also ask. Yeah. The number one thing, in my opinion, when you're in a room is to be the one who listens, not the one who talks the most. That's the one who gains the most. So for you guys asking these questions, we really appreciate that. And if you guys are enjoying this and getting value from it, and you guys like hearing us answer questions, maybe your questions or others, don't forget to hit that like button. Now, we got _Eric Diaz _ saying, what are some tips from you guys on how to win a negotiation? And this question, why I touch on it, is my quickest and simplest tip is be the middleman. What that means is, as a realtor, you are a middleman already, but be the one who calms the fire on the seller side and on the buyer side. Be the one who, even though you get mad, don't get mad. Be the one who, when you know your client's wrong or the other side's wrong, you don't say you're wrong, you calm it down to where it becomes right. You as a realtor are, I don't know the word to it, but you are the mediator on making a deal die or survive. Yeah. How many deals almost died with you that you made survive?
Countless.
A ton.
Yeah.
And likewise for me. There are so many tips, but that's my sole tip. Do you got something?
I think that's really good. There's a quote that I saw that I really like that I want you to ponder on, and I want the audience to ponder on.
You memorized it?
Let me try not to butcher it. It goes, "The one who cares the least in an argument is the one who always wins."
Wow. The one who cares.
The one who cares the least in a negotiation is the one who always wins. What do you think about that? The one who cares the least is the one who wins.
I think the one who doesn't get butthurt about everything is the one who wins.
Yeah.
That's what I take it as. Yeah. Is that a good way to take it as?
Yeah. And the one who maybe doesn't need it the most, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I feel like it has lots of meanings. But I saw that. Do you know who Naval is?
Naval, the video guy who does house tours or just general? No, I don't know.
I need to put you on this guy. Very smart.
Really?
Very smart guy. That was one of his quotes. You like him. I'm surprised.
I like that quote. I do like that quote.
He's like a modern day philosopher almost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
I'm thinking of video guy.
No, it's okay. Completely different people. But yeah, I'm gonna put you on him, and anyone who's listening, check him out. Naval.
Nice. Very nice.
Literally NAVAL. That's his Twitter handle. So you can go to his Twitter and then you can see all of his stuff. But yeah, he's very smart.
So basically, you're saying the quote says the one who doesn't care the most.
Yeah, and I mean that applies a little bit to real estate. I think on a broad scale. Yeah, I think it's an interesting quote. Negotiations in real estate. I mean, just be calm, cool, and collected.
Oh, good job.
I feel like the one who's always calm is the one who's going to get things done.
The one who really wants the deal to close. That's a dangerous feeling to have because you'll do the wrong things, the unethical things, and the things that can be too pushy to where it kills a deal versus saves a deal or makes a deal.
So say I'm representing a seller and I have a very needy buyer. Like instead of getting like emotional when they're asking for all these things, I'll collect myself. Yeah. I'll get rid of my emotion and then I'll email back,
I love
how can we make this happen, and be respectful to them. So yeah, don't let emotions get involved either. That's really important with negotiations because the second you lose your cool, you've already lost. You're done.
Wow, good job.
Yeah.
I love that. Eric Diaz, I know that gave you some good value, and I hope that you can apply that in your business. There's one more question that I want to touch on.
You did get a lot.
What's that?
You did get a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot that came in. I think that they missed us. That's why.
Yeah. Oh. We missed them.
This is going to be the last question. And there's some great questions that if we don't get to them, we'll push them to the next podcast. Or if you guys are in the Discord, we can answer it like that. ND Shelley says, when y'all took the courses, did y'all feel like it was meant for you? Or did you feel like it was, I guess the question ended because she didn't have any more space. But when we took it, did we feel like it was meant for us? And then she said, or once you started with actually doing real estate, is that when you felt like real estate was meant for you?
The courses sucked. Those were definitely not made for me.
Yeah.
But once I got into the business and it started picking up, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. This is
nice.
What I should be doing.
For me, I got into real estate before I became a realtor, so I already had the taste of real estate. So I felt like I already understood what I was getting into. But that's such a good question.
It is.
Do people feel like they love it when they're doing the courses to get into, or is it after? It's pretty scary because imagine doing a course for 6 months, paying maybe $1,000 to $3,000 in fees and all that, only to realize you don't like it at all.
Wasted the time and the money.
Yeah, that's actually pretty scary. I never thought of it like that. Yeah. I'm going to give advice for those who are thinking of becoming realtors or in the courses. Ask a ton of questions to a ton of people who are real estate agents and are successful. And then ask those who are their first year and their second year and their third year, because you don't want to get into it and then be like, crap, I just lost a year. You never lose. You always learn, but I wasted a year and I got to pivot now.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Get what you mean, my friend.
That is going to be all. Those are the questions. We have more, but like I said, the podcast will be 5 hours if we go through everything. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for dealing with my sick voice. Thank you for being a part of this YouTube channel and our podcast, the Ben and Karam's podcast, Real Estate and Business. And thank you guys for showing love and support. Comment below any questions you have. Comment below anything you want us to do better on or to address or to incorporate in the podcast. And then comment below if you have any guests that you would like to see on this podcast. That's number one. Number two, join the Discord if you haven't already. Link is going to be below. Those on Spotify, thank you so much. Share the podcast, share the love, and most importantly, build people around you who have the same mindset. Give them the value as well, and don't think that they'll steal the value and run. There's business for everybody, but build a good community of people around you. When I talk to Ben, it elevates me. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I can bounce ideas and I can take what he has to say seriously because I know he's a hustler. You should also build that because that's going to help you take things to the next level. I think for right now, we're wrapping up the podcast.
I love how you do all the talking. I can just sit back and relax.
You enjoy that?
That was good. That was really good. Seriously.
Sometimes I get stuff and I just, off the dome, I hit it.
You're great.
But I appreciate it, bro. So that's what we have. And guys, we really appreciate you guys. And I missed the podcast.
I know. We're back at it.
I know that I'm saying I missed it and stuff. Like, it's been 2-3 weeks, not that long, but we've been kind of like your post. Yeah. It's been very busy, but we appreciate all of you guys. And we're being creative. We have a podcast guest that we just agreed to bring on. We're not going to say his name just yet, but he's going to be on hopefully the next podcast, number 16. He's in the lending world who lends. He knows the details of the loans. He knows the market shifts. He's a beast. And Ben uses him, which if Ben uses him, you know he's going to be great because Ben's got a ton of deals, and some deals he needs creativity on. Yeah. So we're going to have him. And if you guys have any suggestions, comment down below and let us know. But for right now, me and Ben, we're both out. Peace. Good stuff, my
Another
brother.
one.